Alright, we are in our second half of the second spring, and we're not going to be sticking to the usual thing for much longer at this point. Now that we have the community center done, there is an entire new side quest available to us. Yay, salmon berries are back. Which we're going to be taking care of in just the first part of this video.
So, taking a short break from banging the entire town.
To doing witch stuff.
I think that's worse. Black magic is the way of the devil.
Yeah, but not having sex.
Yet. I forget, are you at level 10 foraging yet?
I don't know. I feel like by now I am.
Because salmon berries are actually substantially more worth it if you've gone along the track that doubles your foraging harvests and gives you all iridium forage harvests.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, a little bit more of a moneymaker.
So after you finish the community center, you come up to the train station. I think during the day, probably at any time, it's the wizard. He talks about how he used to have a wife. Now, somebody actually mentioned in either one of the threads or in the comments section, there is a bit of a theory that Abigail is not Pierre's biological daughter. She's actually the wizard's. There's only small hints of it, like occasionally you'll see Caroline walk out towards the wizard tower, and here where the wizard talks about him being married to a witch, but they split when the wizard did something. Oh, and also, several people have pointed out that witch house on Chicken Feet, that's Baba Yaga.
I enjoy the fan theory that Abigail is actually the wizard's daughter, purely because it means that Abigail doesn't actually dye her hair.
And there she is. And Best is oblivious.
Oblivious to what?
That's also, I think, the first time you realize that that witch is the same witch who sometimes turns your chickens into void chickens.
Yeah. Something we haven't seen yet, but I did manage to record, so it'll turn up eventually. I have no idea when.
Spoilers.
Is she sitting there with the lights off?
Nothing we can do about it.
Says the man who would never turn the light on in the office unless I did it.
Glow of my monitors is all that I need to lose all of my eyesight before age 35.
So to find the ink, just come down to the sewer and talk to Krobus. When we first came in here, we noticed that there was an opening that we couldn't get into. It was magically blocked off. This is the point where that opens up. By Krobus doing that.
He momentarily turns into Binding of Isaac and just shoots in that general direction.
It looks like it. So this is a weird new area. It's full of these very green bugs. They're not unlike the bugs in the mines.
For this stage of the game, this is actually an excellent place to come and level your combat skill, because it's a very small area that doesn't require you going into the caverns or the mines. Because they're so easy to kill, you get a lot of kills racked up quickly. They don't give you the most experience per enemy, but at this point, combat is probably one of the few things you don't have maxed out, so pro tip, come here.
Yeah. And you don't really need to worry about it, because one, you kill them so quickly, two, they drop algae soup, so you can refeed yourself if you need to.
Also, there's human skeletons down here, or what the crap?
Yeah, they didn't level up their combat.
Oh.
There's also a bunch of rocks and a bunch of weeds. None of this we really need to worry about. The big thing's coming up here, and that's where the talisman is, which we need to get into the witch's hut. You can also catch a unique fish here. And this is a really bad time, Bug.
No, I think mosquitoes like that is on brand for fishing.
It's a slime jack. It's not a legendary fish, or even really a rare fish, but you can only catch it here.
In the gooey quadrant.
Bye, rock.
I'm off to meet God. And here we are in another swamp. And we meet a goblin.
Henchman.
Leader of all the henches.
Now, I said a long time ago that if you got some void mayonnaise, you wanted to hang on to it. Something you can learn in the library is that goblins love void mayonnaise. So just give him a bit, and he'll get right out of the way. Now, I also got corrected on this because you actually don't need to bring void mayonnaise. You can actually fish a jar right out of this water.
I don't think I knew that.
That's disturbing.
Just in case. Because the void chickens are rare. But there's the ink. We also got... I'm just going to look around and look at all the dialogue you can find. But we have these 3 statues, and you can make different changes here, depending on what you have and if you bring anything to sacrifice. We talked about some of the disturbing things you can do, such as after you've had children and then divorced. Those first 2 statues are for that. That 3rd statue, if I came here with a strange bun, I could give it there and actually undo all the monsters that show up at night on my farm. If I were to use a different farm, I could come here, give a strange bun, and then the monsters would start turning up. Step onto that talisman, and we are teleported to the wizard's hut.
You had a teleporter there the whole time, you jerk.
It always looks like the wizard is looking down in his portrait. So when he gets shocked, it's like, oh my god. My feet.
My feet!
So there is a website where you can... I think you end up uploading your save file or something like that, and it will show you statistics in a more graphically pleasant way about your friendship levels and how many things you've crafted and whatnot. That goblin is a jerk to anybody who uses those because he's the only NPC that shows up in that view that you can't max out your friendship with because you only ever interact with him that one time to bribe him with the void mayonnaise.
That's true. The save editor that I use at the start of the LP, it points out he does have a heart meter. It's just you only ever meet him once.
I haven't seen anybody in the modding community make it so that you can interact with that guy again, but hey, if anybody's looking for something to do that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah. So now that we've done that, we get some new buildings we can make. These are all magical stuff.
That is a lot of money.
They are extremely expensive.
Holy crap.
The Junimo hut is probably the most useful. The obelisks, they act like those totems that teleport you to places only they're permanent fixtures. You can use them immediately. The Junimo hut, it acts sort of like the harvest sprites in Harvest Moon, where you set up a hut, preferably like in the middle of your fields or whatever, and then in the morning, Junos will come out and will harvest the crops for you. You do need to actually interact with the hut to take the crops out, otherwise it's just a chest. They don't put it directly into the shipping bin, but it is pretty nice.
It finally finishes the automation once you're working on top-tier sprinklers and the best farm layout and all of your things that you're doing right now, all of your other accessories and whatnot. It's that one little bit of, I don't need to water these things, but I still need to harvest them. They're taken care of, so it's really quite nice. The one thing to keep in mind is that you actually have to play for the hours of the day that it takes the sprites to harvest. And I believe it takes a full 15 or 16 in-game hours for the sprites to harvest whatever is in their range, even if it's not completely full. They are very slow and very lazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen how big those things are? I'm surprised they can lift, like, a turnip. Let me see you dig out a carrot that's bigger than you.
Well, I did. I used an axe.
Have you gotten a giant crop yet on this save file?
Yeah, we got the giant cauliflower.
That's right. If you do grow a giant, the Junimos will not harvest that. It will stay there forever.
That they can't lift.
Instead, they'll begin worshipping it and making sacrifices of your chickens.
Well, I'm not using them anyway.
I like your little collection of statues over there. Bear, chicken, bunny, weird, tangled up wooden thingy.
And a rock. Oh, speaking of honey.
I'm a little disturbed by the fact that you're just walking around with a prismatic shard in your inventory.
I think I found that in the mines. The Skull Cavern, specifically. So I'm guessing that the mushroom trees can produce more mushroom trees even when it's not fall.
I think any tree that naturally spawns within a radius of an existing mushroom tree has a chance to then also be a mushroom tree. They spread very slowly.
So you mentioned something before we started recording about using the quarry for this purpose.
Yeah, I've seen people online, I've never done it myself, use the quarry once it's been unlocked to place your kegs, your jelly jars, I guess it's the preserve jars, any sort of smelting thing, even down to your cheese makers and looms and such. It makes for a decent area for that because the quarry is not super profitable as far as the gemstones that spawn there because they do spawn at such a slow rate. And also NPCs never enter that area, so you don't have to worry about NPCs colliding with your stuff and destroying it on contact. Areas up like where you are right now where you can't plant is not as big of a deal. But I have seen a lot of people want to maximize the farming space on their farm for crop planting purposes and even at the expense of building sheds. So the quarry is basically 2.5, maybe even 3 sheds worth of space that you pretty much just get for free once you've unlocked it from the community center. So kind of a nifty idea. One of the recommendations I've seen is to put down flooring on the areas in between the things that you built so that rocks and other gems don't spawn in the walkways that you've left. Guys, let him out. Let him out. Otherwise, it becomes a lot less efficient to run around and gather whatever materials have been sitting there and spawning while you go out and do other crazy things.
Look how close I am to max with everyone.
Then you never have to give another gift to anyone again. Also, that sheep has a very unfortunate name.
Hairy-ass mom. I could only name it the only thing that was on my mind. Your animals will get pregnant just on their own. The barn animals.
Yeah, no need to buy them. What did they call it? A magic formula?
Yeah. When you talk to the animals and pull up the menu, you can select a turn off pregnancy. Which I think I did after this.
Are you just selling your iridium bars for profit because you have so many of them now?
I need 2 million for the return scepter. I need to speed that up. But look at the baby.
Aw.
Aww. Frump frump. Frump frump. Parent. Oh.
Clint's probably got a lot of business tax now. Thanks to me.
Well, we haven't had much in the way of business. Not now, best.
I'm just gonna give you thousands of gold. And another tiger's eye. One that I can actually give to the museum now.
What did you do with the first one?
I gave it to Sam for his birthday.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, and you exploded a bomb in my face?
Better be that adorable robot in the corner.
Even better.
No such thing. She's got a secret clubhouse. No boys allowed.
Especially not you, Dad!
Stop being a creep, Demetrius.
How about a big, adorable robot?
It's less adorable and more stompy stompy crushy crushy.
And rusty.
Beep boop.
Hey, was that a robot?
Beep boop.
Hey, no robots.
Boop. What is up with the ceiling right above the robot? Is it caving in? Into the void? It's making the entire room look like a speech bubble. Beep boop.
Sounds like an early 90s computer game.
Maru, scalded. I knew nothing at all.
Do you like it? I named it Ultron. It will save us all.
I think Marilda is worse.
Maybe because I want some peace and quiet, Dad.
She's at that age. Ooh, okay. Well then.
I mean, if you gave us another hour.
So he's open-minded about some things, but closed-minded about robots.
Oh, snap.
I'm sorry, did Mara just make self-aware AI in her basement?
Yep.
Well, so much for that.
Also, that name is stupid, so I'm leaving.
You just took your name and replaced the U with Elda in all caps. Beep boop.
I'm going to space. Maybe people won't be so dumb.
I've realized I'm in the middle of an allegory for my treatment of you.
What's the difference between that and, literal slavery?
It's gonna be difficult. I think her eye could get out.
They brought her up in parts.
I won't forget you until the first asteroid I hit.
Why did you install booster packs on this, Maru?
Would you not?
Robin really needs that for carpentry.
Oh.
Melting steel?
It doubles as a Bunsen burner for Demetrius.
So she can compete with Amazon with same-day delivery to the entire planet. And the moon. Can Amazon deliver same day to the moon? I think the bottom one is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird day.
It's best. This is not weird to her.
It's like, I don't know, I feel like I've seen some shit, but...
Best actually just hands Marilda a note and says, if you see my people, tell them I'm doing okay.
Tell Jeff sorry.
So Maru, is your dad okay with us fooling around in the basement? Because,
That's all that's left to do now.
There's a big space where a robot used to be.
Unfortunately, it's the hole. And now Demetrius can watch us. So maybe let's not do that. That's the last upgrade to the house. That's going to add a cellar. And that's where the aging kegs are going to go. AKA the biggest time waster with no real profit thing in the game.
What do you mean no real profit?
Because I very carefully examined the data on that thing. The increase in price that you get for everything you put in there, including wine and cheese, is equal to the price of the star rating of everything if you just sold it as is.
I think that's the case if you let everything go to iridium quality, but I think if you're okay with silver or gold, there is actually a benefit. Not sure about that.
So this is the first part in ever, like it's the first part period where we don't stop at the end of the week. We're going on straight to the next one. And in the next part, I think we breeze through the entire month of summer.
Because at this point it's mostly just, oh, did I find any new artifacts? Nope. Okay.
Did I get any new recipes? Nope. I've already done the nasty with everyone in town.
That is some expensive food. Really good food. Also a favorite of Alex's, I think.
I think when you do get married, your spouse has a chance to cook you a complete breakfast and give it to you. One of the best things you can do with that is immediately turn it around and give it back to them because most people love it.
I'll keep that in mind for Sunday.
Sweet, I'll end up with 2 breakfasts.
I didn't think about this all the way through.
And you'll starve.
Oh.
He paid $1,000 for snail sashimi.
Krobus, do you even have eyes?
Well, open your eyes to 10 stars for me, please.
So close.
With quite a few people. I think the one person I'm really low on is Kent. Possibly also the dwarf.
Oh man, 143. That elevator mod.
Yep. There's another mod. There are a number of mods that with the 1.3 update aren't compatible. The elevator mod is one of them. But another one that is compatible is instead of just starting you off at level 1 every time you come back to the Skull Cavern, it keeps track of how deep you went, which I think is also fair.
Ah, okay. How did you get out of that door? Oh no!
Nope, tend to be eaten by mummies. Hope everyone enjoyed the LP.
I only sold purple things today. Iridium bars, eggplants, and amethysts.
On Wednesdays we sell purple.
Oh man, so this is the first video in the entire LP that doesn't end at the end of the week.
It's another sunny Monday.
I don't even know why I keep talking to the fortune teller.
You gotta know if the spirits are happy.
My luck has nothing to do with the spirits, obviously.
You have to know if the spirits are gonna smack you in the back of the kneecap as soon as you leave the house.
No, that's Tom Nook.
Oh, maybe Tom Nook can get us a loan for that gold clock.
That'd be nice. I do not have a gold clock or either of the obelisks. Not happening. I don't even have a return scepter on my file, I'm ashamed to say.
But do you have the iridium hoe?
Yes. What did you call me?
So I got him to max, and I got a lobster.
Yeah.
The things you get in the crab pots are different depending on if you get it in freshwater or seawater.
I don't think they're impacted by season, though. Look at you selling prismatic shards, you show off.
3 of them.
17 iridium bars.
I'm pretty much just an iridium factory by this point.
Agricultural 1%.
You haven't created the building with the iridium bars, have you?
Sounds like Minecraft shit when you start building your house out of gold blocks just because you can.
It's more efficient than trying to find out the storage for them. Are you about to go do the thing with the iridium bars that I think you're gonna go do?
I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. I do hang on to some iridium because you do use it for crafting.
One of the things you can build, one of the buildings on your farm requires, I think, 5 iridium bars.
Oh, I will be making one of those, yes.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the iridium outhouse.
That's actually a pretty good name for it.
Oh.
The fantasy shitter.
And that's about what it's worth.
It's got one of those, like, Japanese bidets on it. Hey, so now your house is structurally unsound. Awesome.
Yep, nothing like putting a cellar in a house that already had a floor. How's your foundation doing?
House isn't going anywhere. It's me.
Speaking of level 10 foraging earlier in the episode.
Since I'm not hurting for money, I'm gonna go with the tracker. Like Irish mentioned, if I went for botanist, that would give me iridium forage pretty much all the time. What the tracker does is, every time I'm outside, there are little arrows just around the screen, which will point out to me forage on the ground, the little worms on the ground, anything that I can pick up.
If you are a player who enjoys using the profits that you can get from animals, I highly recommend the other one there, because that will give you iridium quality truffles from your pigs. Those count as forage items.
Yeah. I made sure to very quickly use that warp totem, because Elliot's 10 heart event only happens during the morning at the beach. It has to be at least 8 a.m. It's a romantic little boat ride.
You seem pretty far from shore for being in a boat. Ass.
Because I finished it the day.
Is this the heart event that you were saying has a default for what type of book was written in case you trigger this before you trigger the actual library reading scene?
I don't think we ever found out what that is. I'm gonna look that up.
Because if you just never go into the library and never told him what genre of book to write.
I'm gonna write another book in my favorite genre. Null pointer exception.
My favorite.
Yeah, you'd say that, robot.
I am not a robot. Marilda is a robot. That's an oddly specific sentence.
Is Elliot the fucking Kwisatz Haderach? Is there a ocean sandworm coming for you? Did you forget to walk without rhythm?
Well, the wiki doesn't say anything about it. So it's a mystery for the ages. Which I guess means it defaults to mystery.
Ba-dum-tsh.
Only reason I'm here, along with talking to Kent, is also to get that recipe. Because I am going to try to craft one of everything.
Crafting one of everything isn't terribly different until you can't remember what those last 2 or 3 things that you haven't crafted yet are, and you go through your entire inventory just crafting one more of everything anyway.
There's also something to remember, even though the cellar has a bunch of kegs already in there, you need to craft one more. And we're gonna dance with our boy Sebastian.
Could you basically choose to dance with anyone you wanted and they'd all say yes at this point?
Yep.
Hey, where's your frilly dress?
It's stuffed into my hat. I think for the guys, the dance is just squat a bit and then step forward.
Creepily inch towards the women.
I am just not used to this dance.
I'm looking around. Who didn't get a dance partner there?
And I'm still not really anywhere near close to getting the return scepter.
Yeah, you're really gonna have to crank it up a bit. You've potentially got some functioning kidneys. I don't know about your alien anatomy.
With all that iridium, I'm surprised you're not making more sprinklers and just going more for farm profit.
Well, because I'm making way more with the iridium itself.
True.
I am going to the Skull Cavern pretty much every day.
And just selling all the prismatic shards you get.
Yep.
Womp womp.
No more tool upgrades.
With all that iridium, I'm surprised your farm isn't a Superfund site yet.
So this is one of Haley's heart events before you go into her dark room. It's one of the few that actually shows her interest in photography. which if you come down to this forest area, some days she will be out here taking pictures. It's not something that comes completely out of nowhere, but it's sort of a rare occurrence.
Oh no. Oh no, Haley.
Yeah, I have an idea. Takes a running leap. Oh, you just walk up, they don't care.
They're cows. They're pretty docile.
That tripod is pretty short. It looks like you just get a nice picture of the fence.
I don't think that's what she was wearing. Okay, that's not cool.
That is.
That's acceptable.
No sound effect for it either. That kills most cowboys.
Ah, the unique portrait.
Say, Best, what does a broken tailbone feel like?
Don't poke it. Aha, another hint. I did get a magical vasectomy a few centuries ago.
Do you not know where babies come from? Goon-ass wizard.
I mean, they pretty much just show up one day.
So I'm gonna go ahead and undo the voting that the previous thread did. And make my farm a regular farm, so now monsters will not turn up at night.
Look at you doing things at night just because you can.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about it. I need space to put up another pretty big building. So I'm clearing that area out. And also you can see at the top the arrow.
Oh yeah, it's a tiny little yellow arrow. Kinda easy to miss.
Which was pointing me towards a truffle.
I can see that being useful if you actually have a lot of free-range animals, because some of the eggs that they lay or whatnot can really just get lost in the grass. Hey Sam, standing completely still on your skateboard.
It's all about balance.
He's bending his knees every so often.
Now, a long time ago, I learned some secrets at the library.
The fuck?
So you bring a strange bun and put it into Vincent's toy box, you get Forogmon. I think technically it's Forogmon.
Yes, Tim Allen, that's correct.
If you go back and watch the complete library, I actually read out what the secret is. It's a book that's just gibberish, but if you read only the first letters of each word in the sentence, it gives you an item and a box location. So in that case, Strange Bun Toy Box. I am going to be getting the others. Such as this one. There is a box hidden up here in the saloon. You can bring duck mayonnaise here. You get Pinky Lemon?
What the hell?
These have no purpose. They're just things you can put on your farm or, I don't know, use it to block Gus from getting behind the counter.
I traumatized my children in the nursery with them.
Or confuse the shit out of a co-commentator.
And there's another one that requires a super cucumber, which I think I can only get in fall.
Is that just a cucumber and a tiny cape?
Dun, dun, dun.
Got a big C on its chest.
Lucky Lunch is nice, which I think requires a regular sea cucumber.
The C is in this language for cucumber.
But eating that will increase my luck stat. So also useful for in the mines. So there's an example of the accident that can happen. You can accidentally replace items in the crystallarium. So I'd replaced a diamond with an emerald.
Oops.
And say goodbye to the strawberries that we waited so long to get.
Bye.
Now this is a very important one to remember because it's very time specific. This one bush behind the playground, on the last day of a season at exactly noon, press the button, you get a big Junimo plush.
Oh my god, please tell me they sell those.
Not yet, probably one day. You can only get one of them.
I think he means a real one.
No, I know. I don't think they sell them. Maybe one day.
If I need a gift idea, a giant overstuffed Junimo would be just the ticket.
Those two pots in the corners kind of look like screaming mouths.
Aha, we weren't able to read this before. But that is where you get the hint to figure out to bring the prismatic shard to the desert.
Bess just turns right back out the door. Nope, I'm no guinea pig.
And that's how Penny burnt down her RV.
Metallic hammering is the sound you want to hear when they make cookies, or whatever that is.
Like a salad?
A fermented salad. So kimchi, I guess.
You would definitely turn red, not green, after kimchi.
By this point, Best has learned the importance of politeness.
I'm pretty sure I definitely heard fire when she was making that. Did you set the salad on fire?
That was not chili.
Wasn't lukewarm either. How about we watch a movie on the nothing?
You just watch one of Pam's beer cans roll slowly off the couch.
Alright, and then next time, we're going to be doing the entire season of summer in one video. And then in part 25, we're going to be doing both fall and winter in one video.
Oh jeez, just speeding up.
Yep. Best is tired of this shit. She's going light speed.
Vroom vroom, mofos.
She is not bound by our puny perceptions of linear time. Or Thorn did a bunch of editing. One of those things.
Both are canon.